talk, the whole earth shakes. I'm like,
Yo, what's good, peoples? Your boy's back. Welcome back to MBP Live Show. Next bus, please. Your boy Blunt. The transitions are getting better, y'all. The transitions are getting better. Tiny hiccup, but that was, compared to the usual shit that go down. I think that was great. But what's up, people? I'm happy that you could join me. It's a beautiful day outside. Well, we got to get this show started. As you guys know from last week, I didn't go on. Just give me 1 second. A little self-conscious here. Can't have those crackhead lips going on. Last week, I didn't do the show because I had just found out that my pops had passed away. So it was a little dilemma for me because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the show, but I didn't want to not do the show and be sitting around twirling my thumbs and be just in my head because y'all know that idle mind is the devil's playground. So I was sure, but lucky enough, I was busy doing phone calls and stuff like that. It kept me busy. But yeah, so that's why I didn't go on last week. I had stuff to talk to y'all about. I have no idea where all that shit went, so I had to come up with new stuff. Anyway, one of the major things that I wanted to come have a conversation with you guys about was this subway surfing, because that's something I've been seeing all week. And it's not like it's a new topic on the show. We've been talking about subway surfing since forever, right? First of all, saludos, my cafecitos. Oh God, that is the nectar of the gods. So yeah, this subway surfing thing. It's like it's we've talked about this a lot on this show, and it's like it's just not stopping. In fact, it seemed like it's ticking up. More and more teenagers are doing this shit. It's like, are they not seeing the news, or they're not hearing about the news of their fellow teenagers who are dying doing this game? Or is it a macho or ego thing, thinking, well, I can do it better, and I know I won't get hurt because I ain't that dumb? Well, as recently as last week, we had a situation where this teenage female, right here, this female teenager girl was hospitalized after hitting an overhead beam while surfing in New York City. This is crazy because she's lucky to be alive. There was another article too, about how the girl lost her leg. She survived also, and there was two more incidents in Brooklyn where one teenager had got killed or unalive, so to say. I don't know if you could say that on YouTube or not, but one teenager was unalive while the other one's in critical condition. How do we tackle this? I'm asking you guys, how do we tackle this? How do we make this where teenagers are aware of these dangers? I think they're aware of the danger, I just don't think they care. But how do we make it so that they're at least aware of the dangers that they put themselves in over some laughs and giggles? It's frustrating to me. One, because I used I never surfed. What up, Figgy? I never surfed on top of the trains. I have rode on the side of the trains while they was moving, thinking it was all fun and games. But I never rode on top of the train. I always thought that was major dangerous. Plus, my train station was Myrtle and Willoughby. There's no way I'm getting on top of that train. Those ceilings were way too low. So no, it was nothing. I wasn't doing none of that. But they do it on the outside. The outside trains. What's that called? The L trains, right? On the outside. What up, DeBrail? The most I did. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I used to run through the tunnels, right? Me and my boys, we used to run through the tunnels, go to the next tunnel, go to the next tunnel. At one point, a train was coming and we was in the middle of the tunnel. And when I looked back to look to see where the train was at, I was like, okay, the train is coming. But when I turned around, all my boys were gone. They done left me. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, I see my boy P springboarding off the third rail to hop on it on the ledge to get out the way. I'm like, oh shit! Like I'm standing here looking around, and I had to go run behind him. Right? Ha ha! Funny. It was funny back then, but looking back on it, it was extremely dangerous. I could have died. Right? And not to mention, God bless her soul. My next door neighbor, she got killed by the train, doing exactly what I did, walking in the tunnels to get to the next stop. And she got hit by the G train. And may she rest in peace, man. So rest in peace. But she died. So yeah, this is very personal to me, and these kids need to learn to stop this mess. And I don't know if we have to take it to the schools or take it to a political action or whatever. But we need to do something. Something needs to be done to stop this shit. Maybe we could brainstorm, y'all, like I'm doing right now. Maybe transit put some kind of deterrent on top of their trains to keep them kids from going up there. I don't know, bird spikes. I don't know. I don't know what they can do. Oh yeah, no doubt. I was listen, hopping turnstiles. I used to go every week to go see my pops, so I used to hop the turnstile. He lived in Queens. I would hop the turnstile, always stay in the front, because back then we had those open, you had that big glass in the front so you could just look out. I would always pretend in my head that I'm the operator of the train. It was a passion of mine. I just never pursued it, which I should have. But at the time of pursuing it, my ex was telling me about all the steel dust stuff like that. My asthma is terrible, so I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put myself in that position, right? Even though I took the token boot and I got called for that, but even that is like, yeah, that steel dust comes in through the aperture. You still got to. And my ex used to clean her nose and stuff out when she got home. You see it in the tissue, the steel dust and stuff that she breathed. So it was crazy. Yeah, so yeah, we have to do something about this, y'all. I don't know. You guys gotta help me. Let's come up with something. Maybe, Primo, what's good, man? I gotta call you. I'm gonna call you as soon as I get off of here. All right. Maybe we could brainstorm, come up with some kind of action that we could do to help bring awareness. Which I don't understand. It's not like they're not aware. The news is pumping this out all the time, but we need to do some kind of action to see if we can help stop this problem from happening because it's taking too many of our kids, and it's unnecessary. These kids think it's fun, and it's just ridiculously dangerous. So we got to do something about that, y'all. I have no idea what it is that we can do, but like I said, let's start the conversation. Let's get it going. Let's see what we can do. Can I share this? Yeah, matter of fact, let me see if I can share this. I have an Instagram post that I believe I can share. Let me see if I can share it with y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, okay. So where's the volume? Y'all see that? No, y'all don't see that. Hold on. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me fix it so that it'll start over from the beginning. What's it? Hold on. I don't know where it's gonna start from, but I'm gonna share the screen so you can see. Maybe there's no way to. There's no way to run it like change the where it starts and stop from. So I'm just gonna share the screen from where it is. And this is her yelling at the girl on the top, and that's them pulling her down. 16-year-old female. So they pulling her down. She is lucky to be alive because we all know that never turns out the way it is. This guy, whoever this person is, right? This just happened yesterday in Queens, which is probably about a week or two ago. Reports of people riding outside or on top of the train cars jumped sharply from 928 incidents in 2022 to thousands. See, look at this, thousands in recent years. Teens engage in subway surfing in New York City, primarily driven by social media clout, thrill seeking, and peer influence. We have to nip that, y'all. I'm gonna finish reading it though. Kids and teens are motivated by recording videos to post to go viral on platforms like TikTok, which often glorifies these stunts. And that's another thing. Parents raise their kids well, and if they are thrill seekers, take them to amusement parks, bumper cars, arcades, rock climbing, blah blah. Yeah, right. So, um, you gotta be shitting me. Don't give me that. Anyway, it's just telling me now my camera has a low frames per second. That's ridiculous. It's not one of those cameras. But anyway, we have to stop that. This, you know what's crazy? Because TikTok will mute you or censor you the minute you talk about YT people or you go against YT people. They quick to cut you off, talk about bullying, this, that, and the third. But when it comes to the destruction of our people, us Latinos, us blacks, you know, they leave it right up. Like they glorify it, they push it, they give it more views. You know, these apps, some of these apps are really not meant for us, you know what I mean? Yo, what up, ABM? AV, what's good, Aaron? What's good, Aaron? Stick around, Aaron. I got something for you. You know? So we need to curb that. We need to find a way that we can get to them so that they can stop doing this. It needs to be a priority for us. And I don't know what we can do other than raise our voice, maybe write a letter to our congressmen or whatever. But we need to do something. And if you guys, we could all brainstorm something together, I'm sure we could come up with something good. You know what I mean? So let's try that. Let's not forget that. I want to switch over to something a little bit more positive because I have enough negative in my life right now. So, and that's actually something that TA is doing. Some of you guys may not be aware of. But I'm sure the majority of you guys are, and that's that they're having a backpacking school supply drive where they come around, they drop barrels at the depot or your respective garage or wherever you may be working at. I'm not sure how. I don't know how does that work when it comes to stations. If there's anybody here from stations or anybody know how does this work in stations, feel free to put it in the comments because I have no idea how this works. I mean, unless there's a security guard standing by the booth or something like that, I wouldn't leave any back to school supplies there, you know, let alone a collection box of that. So you guys got to let me know. But it's been going on since the 24th. I have something in my nose. I'm so self-conscious about that. It's been going on since the 24th, and it's on till the 28th. So if you got it, please give. They're collecting school books, book bags, supplies, and stuff like that. Actually, you know what's crazy? My sister's a teacher, and they expect her to come out of pocket for a lot of the school supplies like pens, notebooks, and stuff like that. They want her to come out of pocket for that. That is ridiculous. Like you are the school system. Why don't you come out your own pocket? I don't get it. But yeah, they doing that. MTA. There's something positive about MTA. You know, y'all always on top of their case about things. This is something positive that the union is doing. So look out for that. Actually, not just the union. Let me correct myself. The women's, the Working Women's Committee is doing this. So they're part of this function. They're the ones who's making this happen. Of course, they part of TW 100, so they got to stamp their name on that. So shout out to the Women's Working Committee for doing this. This is a great thing. I wish I would have had that growing up. But yeah, that's how it is. People do better. Yeah. Yo, shout out to y'all, everybody who's on Facebook. Oh, they doing it there too? Cool. AV says it's same at his daughter's school. Man, I'm glad my daughter's grown. She could buy her own stuff. But yeah. Cafecito. So my next thing I wanted to bring up actually has to do with, I'm just waiting for this to change. Where we at? There we go. The 103, right? We're gonna get to the sleep. We're gonna discuss about sleeping in locker rooms in a little bit. We're gonna get to that. And I know AV, I know Aaron, you got a lot to say about that. Maybe DeBrail too, but DeBrail's kind of new, so he can't go back as far as we can. But he might have something to say. The 103 update. They are having a public meeting for the B103 in Brooklyn, y'all. The B103 in Brooklyn having a public meeting. From what I understand, they already cut the line in half. They're supposed to be stopping it from going downtown through Kensington and all that shit. It's supposed to go from East New York to the junction over there in Nostrand. If I'm correct, I believe that's what I read. That's what they're going to be doing. But they are going to be holding public meetings. I know some of y'all may say that these meetings are a waste of time. You go there, you speak, and that's all. It goes nowhere. You could be right? You could be absolutely right. But they are holding public meetings, and if you get a chance to go, I would say, if you're off, to go. It's going to be on August 6th, which is 3 days away. Today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's a Thursday? That's weird. But yeah, it's going to be August 6th. I'm going to help you read that because I know it's kind of small. But it says there what's happening. As many of you know, there are plans in the DOT's Brooklyn bus redesign plan to eliminate the B103 from Midwood to downtown Brooklyn. See, that's what I thought. So the B101 would travel from Canarsie to Midwood, cutting the route in half, which is crazy. Because the B103 went all the way from Canarsie all the way downtown. It went through almost every part of Brooklyn. So now it's saying it will no longer stop in Ditmas, Kensington, Park Slope, Gowanus, and downtown Brooklyn. They are planning to slash 6 miles from the 12-mile bus route in order to be able to say that they have made the B103 faster. There are reasons to say the route and no real alternative is being offered. The mayor's office mass engagement is hosting a public meeting on Thursday, August 6th, to make our voices heard. So there's the you have the QR code there. If you want to scan it to make a reservation, I'll give you some time. In fact, let me see. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna look awkward for a second, y'all, but I just want to make the QR code a little bit bigger for those who may want to scan it. I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds for you guys. There you go. I'll give you a couple of seconds if you guys want to scan it, or screenshot it to pause it. That way you can have it. What up, Reggie? Just in case any of you guys want to go to that meeting. That's going to be again August 6th on a Thursday. So yeah, my man said passengers right. He said I rode the B103 route last week. It's a great route. Yep, but they cutting it down. That route went all over Brooklyn. If you wanted to see how the demographics change in Brooklyn, you would ride the B103 for sure. Even maybe even the B8 because the B8 also goes from Brownsville all the way to Bay Ridge over by the bridge. Yeah, close to the bridge. Goes all the way to 95th Street. So you're right there in Bay Ridge, right by the bridge. So those two bus routes go completely through Brooklyn. Even the is it the 44? I think the 44 that goes up Nostrand. Stream. Even that one, it kind of goes all over Brooklyn. It goes from Williamsburg all the way to what is that area? Sheepshead Bay, right? It goes from Williamsburg to Sheepshead Bay. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to see how diverse Brooklyn can be, those three lines you can't go wrong. The 44, the 103, and the B8. Those ones, the B8 goes across east to west or west to east, whichever you want to say it. The 44 goes from south to north or north to south. And the 103 kind of like cuts zigzags through Brooklyn. It's crazy, but they cut it in half just to say that they're what up, Daryl? Just to say that they're gonna save time, making it faster. I don't understand how cutting in half is making it faster, because the travel time in between going from point A to point B is not changing. But I guess they're trying to run some kind of crazy logic on you guys, which I don't get. Maybe y'all could school me on that. Y'all know I'm never up for being schooled or corrected. So, you know. And yeah, so another thing that's coming up is just to make sure you guys know, if you guys need to know what you should be knowing is about your medical. We already know that they're coming after it. Transit already said that in the contract negotiations when they sent their demands. I'm going off the top of my head. I don't actually have the paper in front of me because I'm not prepared. But it was something like 50%. I don't remember. I know it's something like that. I know they're raising your prescription costs are going up, and your ER visits, I believe, is going up another. I think it's up to $100. It might be already at 100, and they're going up to that, or they're going up to $100 per ER visit. I don't know. You guys gotta let me know. But either way, they're going after your ER visits. They're going after your prescription, and they want your contributions to go up. I believe to 10%, from 2% to 10%, which is fucking ridiculous. But they're going after your shit. And mind you, you guys, they putting you on. No, let's not restart. Fuck you doing? My computer wants to restart right now. So yeah, they want you guys to contribute up to 10% into your medical, and they, with this Medicare Advantage again. Medicare Advantage, if you're not sick, it's probably one of the best things. No, do not start my computer. No. Yo, if I lose y'all, that's because my computer's shut me down to restart. I'm trying to tell it not to restart right now, but sometimes this motherfucker got a mind of his own. Um, yeah, so yeah, if you don't know about the Medicare Advantage, it's great if you're fine, if you're healthy. It could be one of the best plans that they put for y'all, but the problem is 10%. Oh yeah, it's okay. Dad, thanks, Figgy. So they're going up from 100 to 150. That's for ER visits, right? And then they're asking 10% to medical contributions, which is up from 2%. Right? You guys still at 2%, right? So they're going after you guys. And what I was saying was with the Medicare Advantage, if you're fine and you're healthy, then this could be one of the best plans you can have. But the minute, and you can record, you can tape this, record this, clip it to take it out of full context if you want. But the minute you get ill or sick, you're going to start to see problems. And those problems are going to be a major headache, especially in times where you don't have time to be thinking about if my medical is going to be covered, if I have to pay this or that. What up, Springer? What's going on? So, yeah, if you can, join the Zoom meeting. It's going to be Saturday, August 15th at 12 noon as of right now. If anything changes, I will let you know. You can take a screenshot. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's a hell of a jump. If you get 2 to 10, that's ridiculous. That's a slap in the face compared to what all these other people are getting. You know, they really trying to screw you guys. You guys are still without a contract. Still without a contract. How long has you been? 2-3 months? You guys have been out of contract. I believe Springer. You could correct me. We might have went a year without a contract before during negotiations. Did we go a year without having signed a contract? I might be just dreaming this up, but I believe we went a year. I don't. My memory sucks, God. I don't have any ginkgo boba if you guys want to donate to the funds. But anyway, yeah. So August, I encourage everybody. Listen, all of you guys, just come on to the Zoom meeting, even if it's just to listen. Just to listen to see what's happening. So that it was a year. Okay, appreciate it. So we went a year without a contract. So that could happen again, potentially happen again. But I would appreciate if all you guys just come on the Zoom just to listen to weed. What happened? You blame my memory on weed, Springer? We don't have to tell them all of our business. But yeah, I encourage all you guys to join the Zoom, even if it's just to listen, so you can understand exactly what's happening. A lot of people think that TW100R, that we're faking a lot of this shit. This is not real, or that we're pocketing money and stuff. Listen, just join the Zoom and just sit there and listen to what's happening. Listen to what's happening. You tell me if what's happening is not real. I wish. I can't smoke in my building, so what up, Anthony Olden? What's good? I can't. I have some gummies. But we're not going to talk about it. It has nothing to do with the show. What the hell? Springer, stop it. But yeah, again, listen, screenshot it. Join the Zoom August 15th. The link will be posted at TW100R. They have their Facebook page. If you're not a part of that, you should join it because you're going to retire at one point, right? That's the plan, to retire. And they're talking about your future right now. This is something that you could get in on and listen to and then try to alter what you're heading into. Because right now, it's a bag of shit. So I'm not going to keep beating that one. Just join the Zoom if you can. August 15th, write it down. Come join us and listen in. So, all right. So let's talk about what is this major concern coming up, right? And that is people telling me to ask the doctor. Yeah, I got to get me a license for mine. But people are now getting taken out of service for something that has been happening, excuse me, since before I was even a bus operator, right? And that is this, right? As you can see, our former host had wrote a post, and you guys are responding the way y'all responded. This is why I'm bringing it up, right? It says West Farm Depot, 3 bus operators were taken out of service after they were, okay, let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm saying. After they were found sleeping overnight in the locker room. All 3 reportedly lived upstate and chose to stay at the depot rather than commute in the morning. They were removed from service at approximately 2 a.m., even though their scheduled report time wasn't until 5 a.m. The crazy part is that they weren't even due to start work for another 3 hours. So these people got pulled out of service for sleeping in the locker room. It's yeah, it's a practice that has been happening since before I was an operator, right? There were at least three that I know of that would sleep in the locker room on their days off, or when they're off the job, off the clock, because they lived far. They lived in the Poconos, or they lived by exit 2 at the Garden in New Jersey, or they even lived further up. So the commute was ridiculous, right? And so they would just choose to stay at the depot, sleep at the depot, and do it like that. The sacrifice, it's a sacrifice, you got your family up and away while you over here, you know, slaving, and you're not trying to crash or anything. So you stay at the depot, and we had at least three operators that would do that, and it wasn't a problem then. You stayed in your little corner, your little nook. It was one that was by my locker, which my locker you had to, when you came in the locker room, you went to the right, past the bathrooms, and there was like another right with a little small corner. My locker was in a small corner, so one of the guys would sleep there because it's out of the way, and it's a little quieter back there. So when I come in the morning, I see him sleeping. I try my best not to disturb him because I don't want nobody disturbing me when I'm asleep, and he needs to sleep. So I would be quiet, trying to open my locker. Lockers just make so much noise when you're opening them. It's like ridiculous, but you know, I try to be as quiet as I can so I don't disturb him, put my stuff in, get my stuff out, and get away from him, and let him finish sleeping. So, but now they're going and they pulling you out of service, right? AB says years ago there was a BO that basically lived in the quiet room. Now, okay, so now that's the question I was going to bring up, AV, right? At our depot, I don't know about what you guys have in your respective depots, or even how token booth clerks, if they have a break room, if maybe people sleep there to get some rest. But at Gleason Depot, they have what's called the quiet room. Right, it's a room that they fixed up. They put nice, comfortable chairs. They put a little spot. Last time I was there was a little spot, a little table that you can eat off of, so you have your lunch or something. When you don't want to be in the swing room, you go to the quiet room, and you stay to yourself. It's nice and quiet. People would take naps and stuff there. How does that work now? Do they still are they still able to take naps now, or are they going to be afraid to do that because now you could get taken out of service, right? It's gotten so bad, right, that Faggy says, excuse the French, but where the fuck was the union? Did they help these three operators? What was the outcome? This idiot Yates. Listen, that's not me. I'm just reading. It says that then this idiot Yates want to give fair warning the other day that the MTA is assembling. I was looking for that video earlier. I couldn't find it because I wanted to play it. But oh well. I know that he did a video, and I remember seeing it. I just never tagged it to myself so I could have it ready for today. Yeah. It says teams go to different depots. Yep. I've seen that they have teams now going out. It says even if you go to your car to sleep, you have to be off the property. And that was another practice. Thanks, Aaron. That was another practice that used to be irregular. You would just go to your car, which was in the parking lot most of the time, and you take a nap during your break. Because some people have long swings. Swings are what we call breaks or lunch breaks at bus operators. We call them swings. Um, and sometimes people have a 2 or 3 hour swing, and they just go to their car and take a nap. I mean, God bless the dead. That's where I believe Augie was found. I think he went to take a nap in his car, and that was that's how he had passed. May he rest in peace. Augie was one of the best. I believe that's how they found him in his car. I believe it was Kathy who found him, which was crazy because she didn't need that. She didn't need to see that. But yeah, one of our dispatchers, Augie, who was very well known and very well liked, went to his car. I guess he wasn't feeling well, and he take a nap or whatever, and he just never came back from his break, and that's where they found him. Tragic story, man. I mean, honestly, I just always the good people. I'm gonna say this, man. Always the good people die, man. The assholes and the fuckers, they seem to live forever, which sucks, you know. But yeah, so at this point now, they have put out flyers, right? This is one of the flyers that they put out. What up, Sean? Attention Kingsbridge Depot. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I want to read this with y'all, so give me 1 second. All right, y'all ready? Y'all see it, right? So, attention Kingsbridge Depot. This is, even though this is directed at Kingsbridge, you might as well just put all depots in there. Bus operators, maintenance departments, all personnel. By rules and regulations of New York City Transit Authority, it is prohibited to sleep or lounge on the property. So this is a personal work environment, surveillance on operations 24/7. Follow the rules, do your job, go home safely. Save yourself the inconvenience of being held out of service indefinitely. New York City Transit is enforcing those rules 24/7. This was put out by Kingsbridge. But like I said, you might as well just take out Kingsbridge and put all depots. Because like they said earlier in the comments, that they have a whole team going around looking for y'all, trying to catch you guys sleeping. I get that. Okay. See, I have it. Not bad. Damn. My bad, Fig. You gotta call me, bro, because sometimes my phone don't ring, or I'm knocked out. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, huh? But yeah, my bad. So I was just informed by my man Figgy, fuck you, you fat bastard, that I have the video for Donnie Yates. It's in my WhatsApp. My bad, y'all. That's my fault. It's my fault. But anyway, yeah. Let me just put it out there so I put myself on blast. Yeah, so y'all can see my okay. My internet just blanked out on me. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I'm gonna email this to myself if you don't mind. Do I have to download it then email? Yep. My bad. All right, so I'm gonna email the video. I'm gonna try to talk you guys to death, so hopefully I can show you guys what Yates said because I think it's important. Yates, I didn't call you an idiot. The other guy did. It wasn't me. I was just reading the message. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna email it to myself. Is it gonna go through? Oh shit! Let me find out my phone working properly. So my phone, I think it's time for a new phone. You know how your phone just be acting the fuck up for no reason, like no fucking reason at all. It just wants to do its own thing. That's where I'm at right now, and I don't have. Okay. See. And I don't have the patience anymore right now. At least as of right now, I don't have the patience for it. See? This is what I'm talking about. it would put it in the queue and it won't send it. This is what I'm talking about. Come on. Anyway, Joe Figgy, email it to me. Because my shit, they won't email myself. They won't email my own video to me. It's stuck in the queue. I'm not lying. I don't know if y'all can see it. No, you can't see it. It's too blurry. But that's, see it says queued. It won't go. It won't send it to me. So if you could email it to me, I appreciate it because I'm not gonna sit here waiting for that to go through. Anyway, like I was saying, y'all, um, what up? What up, pre-money? Oh, hold on. What's going on here? Oh shit. What's good? Badge 5002 ET. What's good, man? Appreciate you coming through. Pre-money, what's up? Good day to you too, my man. Yo, the government. What's the government? Oh, here we go. We got the government conspiracies, the ABM. What's going on? That the government. What does that mean? I don't even know what you're talking about, ABM. You got to put me on. You got to put me on. What you talking about? That the government. Is that English? Are we gonna go RIF on you? But yeah, like we were saying about we was talking about sleeping in the locker room, right? So we know that has been a past practice for the longest. So why? I'm gonna reiterate. Why now? Why now are we cracking down on that? And what exactly is the harm in letting them? Thank you. What exactly is the harm in letting them sleep? You know, they're not, I mean, it's not like a derelict out in the street where they just blocking everything. They go in their little respected spots where they don't disturb anybody, right? And they take that sleep. You don't want them to sleep. You want them to be groggy and terrible and miserable to go drive your bus and have a fucking accident? Is that what you want? That what you're looking for? Because that's what's gonna happen if you don't let them sleep. Now I get maybe. Oh, sorry. Okay. Why? Okay. So I get right that Okay, you don't want them on the property, and that they probably could, spend a little chump change and rent a room somewhere where they could go or stay at a hotel. But why? When you got the depot for free, I honestly feel like each depot, or at least the union, because the depot ain't gonna fucking do this, but the union should take some of that money that they collecting from the members, right? And if they have space, extra rooms and stuff, because the depots are huge depots, right? You make one room, you take one room that's available, you put a couple of cots and stuff like that, you give it a soundproof thing, and you just designate it for naps, right? Or sleep. So that when people who have houses that are so far, like the Poconos way upstate or way down the turnpike, like exit 2 or 3 or whatever, those are long, long commutes. And it's just better for them to stay where they're at and get that hours that they are spending on the road in as sleep. And I think that's just a safer thing to do for the members, right? I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not subject to not being corrected. Yes, pre-money, exactly. They want to blame the membership. Why? It's like ridiculous. Let them sleep. They're not bothering nobody. It's just. Come on. I know, man. Let me. If y'all can't see that, it says, "Come on, man. You talking about the union like they give a fuck." And listen. I have hopes, man. I'm an optimist. I'm hoping there's somebody in the union that can, see what's going on and help me out here. At least help y'all out. So don't rain on my parade, man. Come on, man. Then they have to do subways. Then they don't want to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how it works down there. I wish I had somebody that works underground in the subways, either clerk or doing the customer service thing, that could come and join me and talk about this stuff, because I have no clue what's going down there, and I would love to know. What up? What it go? What's good, man? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this also. And then they would have to admit to New York City is too expensive for its own members to live, and it's at fault of the low wages that we get paid. I mean, they could dance around that. They're pretty good at that, right? They could dance around that. But yeah, I mean, that would be the consensus, right? Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Rob. I appreciate it. Um, Speaking about that, because like I said at the top of the hour, that my pops had passed away last week. That's why we didn't do a show last week. And so right now we have a GoFundMe up, which is kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is at this point, right? Um, and the reason why we have to GoFundMe, because near the end, which is something that me and my I try to prepare my siblings for, being that I'm the oldest. I try to prepare them for the fact that he's about to go. But like everybody, you guys keep telling me, there is really no way to prepare for it, and the reality of the fact that he actually went this time was a little difficult to handle. He's been going in and out of the hospital for the last couple of years, but he's always bounced back for whatever reason. I mean, there was one time we thought for sure he's gone, and he came back like a trooper. So I didn't think that this was going to be any different. When I got the call Sunday, my brother called me, said he's in. I was like, okay, all right. And then after we hung up, maybe about 5 minutes after that, he called me back and said, yo, they already told him he's gone. And so I was like, really? Come on, like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, that was kind of quick. Like, he just got there from what I'm hearing. And it's like, nah, yeah. So what happened was he went in because he was having difficulty breathing. He had fluid and stuff in his lungs, so they was going to go and retract the fluid, but they needed to intubate him. And when they went to intubate him, his heart gave out and they couldn't bring it back. So that's how we lost him. And unfortunately, him going back and forth these last couple of years, it depleted any kind of funds that he had saved, which was a little crazy to me, because he had always told us that the VA has him covered because he's a veteran, so the VA is going to take care of him. So we're not thinking about anything. And unfortunately, the VA. So if you guys don't know, the VA really doesn't cover shit. They'll put him in the ground and they'll do a little ceremony for him, but a lot of that money you got to come up with. If whoever your person is, if they're VA, if they pass an active service, they'll give you about 2,200. But if he dies outside of that service, you're only going to get about 1,002. That's it. So if you're thinking the VA is going to cover, don't count on that, because it's not going to cover a lot. You still got to pay for whatever the funeral home service does and stuff like that. You're going to get the burial, but that's about it. You get the burial there, and they pay for what she told us. There's a cover they put over the casket to keep it preserved. They pay for that, but the casket and all that, or the cremation, you got to pay for that shit. So we didn't think we didn't know we'd have to pay for all that shit. So none of us got the money sitting around. Otherwise, we would have been saving for it if we knew. So we do have a GoFundMe up. It's on my page. I will post it in the description later on. It's a little embarrassing, but one of the good things that came out of that is that they have. I found out that these funeral home services, they have what's called a pre-plan, where you can go and pay for your services yourself. So like, I'm going to do that. Once I have the money, I'm going to go to whatever's closest funeral here and start a pre-plan, and I'm going to pay for everything. So by the time I go, which I hope it's no time soon, my siblings ain't got to worry about nothing. They just got to go and present themselves to the service. They know I don't want all that shit done. I just want to be cremated and get the hell out of here. I told my sister I do, and I'm not joking. I told my sister that I want to be sent to space, but I told her just make sure she tells them if it happens. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it happens, to send my ashes away from the sun. Don't point my shit to the sun because I don't want to be burning in 1,000 years. I want to go travel the galaxy. So she know that's not gonna happen. But hey, it's a wish, right? Why not wish for something, you know, extravagant, right? So I'm a Star Trek and a Star Wars fan, so I want to see the galaxy. So send my shit that way, away from the sun. But yeah, so yeah, thank you, Pre-Money. Appreciate it. Yeah, it still hurts. I don't know how much I'm actually feeling about it. I think during the burial service it's gonna hit me there. But right now, as of now, Friday we have a viewing. If we come up with all the rest of the money, we'll have a viewing for him, and then they'll send his body off to get cremated. And then once they get his ashes back, they'll let us know when the burial is, and that's where everybody who wants to come can come. And that's even going to be a little crazy because he's going to be the VA cemetery in Brooklyn is full, so they only letting people in if you already have somebody there. So if you have somebody there, then they will allow somebody else to be buried there. But we don't have nobody there. Actually, my brother's buried right next to it, but that doesn't count. So we have to go out in Long Island. They was sending us to Calverton, which, if anybody knows Long Island, that's like at the tip of Long Island, way the fuck out there. But we know we found Long Island National, which is closer. Still not close, but closer than Calverton. So we're gonna his remains will be there, and we'll know when that service is after they get the ashes back after Saturday. So Friday we have a private meeting for family only, and then after that I will put up the information if anybody wants to, pay their respects to my pops or whatever, or just join me in paying respect to my pops. So I appreciate that. So that'll be put in the link when we finish, so we can get back to the sleeping. So all right. So Aaron says. So look, he says, and the MTA thought that you decided to move so far. That's on you. I don't know. I guess I can agree. I can't. No, you know what it is? I kind of agree with that sentiment, but at the same time, I don't agree. That's just how I am. Sometimes I could see their side of thinking, but at the same time, you as an operator want to put your family in the best situation it is, and like someone said earlier, if I could find it, I think it was Pre-Money. Yeah, Pre-Money. Like Pre-Money said, here he said, that New York City is too expensive for his own members. It is. It's fucking ridiculous. You could barely afford to live here, or you can't. Some people who have different baby mamas where they're gouging their check, they can't buy nothing here. It's too expensive, and they will have to admit that. So you want to set your family up to be in the best position as possible. So you look for the best bang for your buck. In New York, for almost $500,000, you're not getting no land. You're not getting no land. You're going to get an apartment, maybe a 2 or 3 bedroom for $500,000, and that's it. Now you got to pay HOA fees, and you got no land. You got neighbors next to you, on top of you, and everything. Why pay $500,000 and that's all you get, and that's all you're going to get? And when you could go to New Jersey, and for $500,000, you got your fucking damn near mini mansion. You got an acre or two of land. Like what? What's the comparison? Right? You're private. Your next door neighbor's about, maybe 5 minutes away, or, a great distance where you don't have them on top of you. I mean, it's like a no brainer. So yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like you would think that working for the city, you would have enough money to do what you need to do and live comfortably. Yep. It says that is how they told the BA. I knew. Oh man, that's crazy. They straight out told him. Yes, pre money. You can. Unfortunately, we got 5 minutes. So if you want to join me next week, just let me know ahead of time. If you don't know, we have a WhatsApp group, MVP. What is it called? What is it called, y'all? Shit. Next bus, please, on WhatsApp. You have my personal page on Facebook. We have Next Bus Please on Facebook also. You could join them and just hit me up there and tell me you want to be on, and I could send you the link so you could join me. Easy peasy. Yeah, but right now we're about to go because the show is only an hour long, and we're right at that time point, right? And I wanted to talk about that because yeah, okay, like I said, Next Bus Please on Facebook. You can even type it here on the YouTube channel. Just type, let me know. I'll send you, we exchange the information. We can talk about certain things. Everybody's welcome to join this live. As long as we're not just going to bullshit and we're going to talk about some issues or, something that's going to help the members. Because that's what we're about. We're about helping the members, getting the members together and trying to solve problems. Of course, we're about having fun too. You guys don't know that there's a picnic, I believe, next week at Gleason. Am I right? Right? Spring of next week, right? Next Friday. I will be there. I'll be going there in the afternoon after my father's services. I'm gonna go straight there because I've been invited and I can't take no. They won't take no for an answer. So, and plus I want to see my Gleason people. So, I'll see you guys Friday afterwards in the afternoon sometime. Make sure you save a couple of hot dogs and hamburgers for me because I'm gonna come hungry. You heard? But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate every one of you guys joining me. Let's not forget the Zoom call. You guys seen the flyer already, right? So let us not forget that. If you haven't, let me. Where is it? This one? Yeah. If you haven't, there it is again. Real quick, take a screenshot. The link will be posted in TW100R's website, Facebook page. I guess on their YouTube too. I'll put it up there. It will be on my personal page, and I will post it in Next Bus Please. So if you're not part of Next Bus Please on Facebook, please go ahead and join that. It's just like it says, Next Bus Please. I think there's a second page, but that's not associated with us. So just join this one. You could join me here. Subscribe to my channel, and if you want to go on Next Bus Please and make sure you get to the right one, I will send you the link for that one also. So I appreciate everybody who is watching today. I was in my computer was giving me some problems, and I was getting frustrated. Wasn't sure I was going to go on, but I don't want to keep leaving you guys stranded. I know that in the entertainment business, the show must go on. So that's why it took me a lot not to do last week, even though I had just found out my pause pass. I was still going to do the show. Everybody, you guys, I appreciate your encouragement telling me not to do the show. I appreciate that. It turned out I was going to be too busy to do it anyway. Got you. I got you. We'll work that out, Pre. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be it. So, listen, guys, appreciate y'all. Where am I? What am I doing here? Oh, okay. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. And with that, I'm very humble and appreciative. So, that will be the end of tonight's show. And thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. Later, guys.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.